For each problem, I'll tell you how to do it, then I'll prompt you for the answer, then I'll explain how to do it, and then we'll go into the next problem. If you want to skip ahead, you can. This first equation, y equals mx plus b, I'm going to subtract b from both sides and then divide both sides by m. Okay, subtracting b from both sides. We get y minus b equals mx. We're focused on that x right there. To get rid of, or to cancel this m, we divide by m, and we get x equals y, take away b over m. What about this one? Volume is length times width times height. Well, the w being in the middle there doesn't mean we can't divide both sides by L times H to get W. Okay, dividing both sides by L times H times L times H. These L's cancel, the H's cancel, and we get W is equal to V over L times H. W equals V over L times H. Well, this one is the same idea. P equals IRT. We're going to divide both sides by I, T, and we will have R. Okay, so divide both sides by I times T. Whoops, you can ignore that arrow, it's just pointing at our target variable. And we get R is equal to P over I. Whoops. I times T. Next is H equals P divided by N. We're solving for P. The opposite of division by N is multiplying by N. Okay, multiplying both sides by N. We get P is equal to NH. Here's a linear equation in standard form, ax plus by equals c, and we're going to solve for y, thereby putting it in point slope form. On doing order of operations, we're going to first subtract ax from both sides, and then we're going to divide both sides by b. So let's go. Subtract ax from both sides, and we get by equals c minus ax. Divide both sides by b. The b's cancel, and we get y equals. Now we can also distribute this b down here, and we would get c over b minus a over bx. Rewriting this equation, we get negative a over bx plus c over b. I just rewrote the order there. And now we are in point slope form, where the slope m is equal to negative a over b, and the y-intercept, which we usually call b in this case, is c over b. Next, v is pi r squared h. We're going to divide both sides by pi times h and then take the square root. Okay, divide both sides by pi times h, pi and h. Pi's cancel, the h's cancel, and we have r squared is equal to v over pi h. Taking the square root of both sides gives us r is equal to the square root of v over pi times h. We do not put a plus or minus here because of the context of the problem. I have not been boxing these and keeping them to the right. Whoops, this one's a mess. Okay, so I should put this as y is equal to negative a over bx plus c over b, so anyone can find it. All right. Okay, how about this one? Oh, I should have said we're solving for B1. I'll try to fix that. Okay, EA is equal to 1/2 B1 plus B2 times H. These subscripts are just indices. Just differentiates the two bases. So the opposite of multiplying by 1/2 is multiplying by 2. And the opposite of multiplying by H is division by H. So the H's cancel, the 2's cancel by design, and we have B1 plus B2 equals, over here we have 2A divided by H. Where'd my 2? There it is. Now we're solving for B1, so subtracting B2 from both sides, we get B1 equals 2A over H, that's that fella, minus B2, that's that fella right there, boxed. This one, VF equals VI plus AT. You've looked at this before in the first half of the year, solving for A. We're going to subtract V1 from both sides and divide both sides by T. Subtract V1, or VI, subtract VI, and we get VF minus VI equals A times T. This VF minus VI, you should see that as the change in velocity. But let's divide both sides by T. Divide both sides by T. Oh, change in velocity over time. That is acceleration. F equals ma. I'm going to divide both sides by m. Divide both sides by m. Never mind my scratch there. Divide by m, and we get A is equal to F divided by m. How about this one? F delta T is equal to m times this parentheses. Well, a lot of people want to distribute this m. We're not going to do that. We're going to divide both sides by m and then add VI to both sides. Why are we not distributing? Well, we have to get to VF. So bringing this m in is not going to help us. It's factored out, which makes things simpler. So divide both sides by m. We have F delta T over m equals VF plus, there should be a minus VI. Adding VI to both sides, we get VF equals F delta T over m plus VI. Okay, what about this one? 2 divided by W equals X over 5. Well, some of you do cross multiply and divide, and that's fine. Okay. Multiplying both sides by the number 5. Whoops. And multiplying both sides by W. Let's get that thing back over here. W. The 5's cancel. The W's cancel. 2 times 5 is 10. XW is right there. Equals XW. Remember, we're trying to solve for W. Divide both sides by X. We get W is equal to 10 over X. 2 pi r, divide both sides by 2 pi. And we get r equals c over 2 pi. Boxed. Celsius is 5/9 of Fahrenheit minus 32. And we're getting to Fahrenheit. Again, don't distribute this 5/9. Instead, let's multiply both sides by 9/5. Well, thankfully, the 9's cancel, the 5's cancel. It's kind of by design, right? And we get 9/5 C on the left-hand side is equal to f, take away 32. Multiplying both sides by 9/5 is just undoing the operation of multiplying something by 5/9. Adding 32 to both sides, we get f is equal to 9/5 c, that's that fella right there, plus 32, that's that fella right there. And you could check at centigrade 0, we have freezing is, or Fahrenheit is 32. That's centigrade 0 is freezing. And centigrade 100, you would get Fahrenheit 212. Okay, d is c minus 5 over n. We're solving for n. We're going to multiply both sides by n and then divide by d. So nd is equal to c take away 5. Divide both sides by d. Divide both sides by d. And we get n is equal to c take away 5 over d. Boxed. Clumsily boxed. A is pi r squared. Sorry. Solve for r. We're going to divide both sides by pi and take the square root. Divide both sides by pi. And here we can actually put the square root right here like that. Pi's cancel before we take the square root, and we get r is equal to root a over pi. R equals root a over pi. This is just the quadratic formula. T is equal to plus or minus, whoops. T is equal to take away b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Solving this for r squared, we're going to multiply both sides by r squared and then divide by f sub g. And when we do that, r squared, you know what? I said divide both sides by fg, right? Divide both sides by fg. Divide both sides by fg. Look what we have now. These fg's cancel. These r squareds cancel. This is all by design. And we get r squared is equal to, what's big R? G, m1, m2, and that's it. Wait, divided by fg, sorry. And then take the square root of both sides, and we get that this thing is equal to r. And I can write my inequality backwards. SOHCAHTOA, solve for the opposite side, multiply both sides by h. O equals h sine theta. And I think I have enough time. Tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. That just says inverse tangent is equal to, the inverse tangent of opposite over adjacent is equal to theta. So we just take the tangent inverse function, both sides, tan inverse. Well, these are inverse, our functions are, they cancel each other. Right? We get theta is equal to tan inverse of opposite over adjacent. This one, we just take the square root of both sides. So c is equal to root a squared plus b squared. Okay.